Hi, everybody, and welcome. We are so excited today. We are going to be hearing from Nina, who is going to be talking about her IELTS. Welcome, Nina. She's our IELTS hero for today. How are you today?
Hi, I'm fine, Miss Tanya and Miss Jennifer. How are you?
Good, good. And we have Jennifer from Kinetics, who is also joining us, who's going to be asking a lot of questions from Nina. We know that the IELTS is a very scary exam, more scary than the
Yes,
Kinetics.
compared to NCLEX.
Nina saying, yes, it is.
Yes,
Very, very scary, right, Nina?
yes,
So we're going to hear all the pointers and tips from Nina. I know for many nurses who are working so hard with the pandemic, who are battling with working hours and families and scheduling, still having that wonderful American dream, but having to deal with the IELTS. I know that today is going to be very inspirational. Because you're going to hear Nina's story, you're going to hear her challenges, you're going to hear her pointers, you're going to hear her tips. So please stay on for the next 30 minutes, and Nina will be sharing that with you. And Jennifer is going to be asking all the questions that everybody is waiting to hear.
Yes, definitely. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we
yes,
Oh,
can.
yes.
that's great. That's great. It's very nice to meet you, Nina. We're glad that you're
Nice to
here.
meet you too, Miss Jennifer.
Yeah, definitely. And so I guess we'll just dive right in. How does that sound?
Yes, we're going to just dive right in. Nina's going to tell us a little bit about her background.
Yeah.
In fact, Nina, if we could just ask you, do you want to tell us a little bit about your background? And before we talk about the IELTS, before Jennifer gets started, just tell us a little bit about your background and, how you became a nurse, where you're from, why you want to come to America. And then Jennifer will take over and start asking you about the IELTS.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm Nina. I'm from the Philippines. I graduated last 2008. I'm living here in Iloilo City, and I've been to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia also. I worked there for 5 years, and I went home here in the Philippines because I want to start my own family. I have one son. He is 4 years old, and he is the reason why I wanted to pursue my American dream because I wanted a good future for him. And of course, there are 50 states in the US. I love traveling and I want to explore USA.
Good.
Well, we can't wait for you to do that. And,
Yeah,
and Nina, when
hopefully.
I came to America, this year it'll be 21 years ago. I had two daughters. My youngest daughter was also 4 years old, and she's now fully American, American accent, both of them actually. So we look forward to that
Wow.
for your child too.
In God's time.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
And we're going to hand over now to I'm going to hand over now to Jennifer, and she's going to start talking about the IELTS. Thank you for doing this, Nina. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, with everybody. The purpose of the IELTS Hero is to spread hope, and that's what you're doing today. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you
Welcome,
so
Miss
much,
Tanya.
Tanya.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye bye.
So yes, tell us a little bit about your American dream, Nina. Tell us what inspired you to want to come to the U.S.
As I've said earlier, my son is really my turning point. I wanted him to have a very nice future, and I know that America can give that. And as well for myself, I want to improve my career. And of course, as what I've said earlier, I want to travel and see United States.
Well, definitely. Yeah, that sounds great. Well, your son, he is going to love it here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you have to remember to take him to Disney World in Florida.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that, to
I
that
bet.
day.
Yeah, he's gonna want to see Mickey Mouse and the whole
Yes,
bunch. Yeah, well, that's
yes, he
great.
will really enjoy that.
He really will, and so will you. There's 50 states for you to see. You're going to be very busy.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's exciting. Well, that's good. I bet you're in a hurry to get here, so that's really good to hear.
Yes, I really wanted to be there.
Well, those are great dreams, great American dreams, great reasons, yeah, to come here. So, about your IELTS, your experience with your IELTS. In the past, how many times have you taken your IELTS? Have you had to take it before in the past?
No, it's my first time to take my IELTS exam.
Oh, wow, that's good. That's good. So, how many hours would you say that you had to put towards studying to pass the first time? Did you pass the first time? That's really great.
I'm actually working 8 hours a day.
Mm.
I'm on duty 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I always make sure that I have 1 to 2 hours per day to study my IELTS exam. Actually, I planned to take the IELTS last year, July 2020.
Mm.
But the problem is there's pandemic, so there's no examination available. Then I decided to take it again, November 2020. But again, the examination was canceled,
Mm.
and I still have to wait for a couple of months, and I took it last February 25, 2021. When I took the exam, I have my listening test 7.5, my reading 7, and my writing 7, but my speaking that time was 6.5. I was really devastated during that time. But I also read from Lefora, and of course, other people would also advise me to have it rechecked, and I did, and I got 7 after the recheck for
Oh,
my
that's great.
speaking.
That's great. Yeah, you seem very confident about your IELTS exam and speaking. I think that's really great. It paid off. All that hard work paid
Yes,
off, didn't it?
I
That's
was
really
really afraid. I was really afraid also during that time because I'm thinking that if I will going to take the exam again, maybe the examination will be canceled again, and I have to wait long time again. So I decided to have it rechecked, and I'm so happy that the result came out well.
that's really good. So you had to be a little patient a couple of times, but it definitely, yeah,
It takes a lot of patience.
it takes a lot of patience and having to cancel the exam date and then the
Mhm.
whole pandemic. Yeah, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
Yes, absolutely, it was worth it.
Definitely worth it. That's wonderful. That's good. So everybody's going to want to know if you have some hints. Do you have some specific pointers and tips for all the subjects, for the speaking and writing, listening, and the reading that you could give the other nurses to help them pass the first time would be great. What would you suggest?
Firstly, in listening, we should not panic. There are times that we cannot hear what the audio is telling us, or speaking in the person speaking in the audio. Every time that would happen, just leave the number that you don't know behind, and proceed to the next number, because there are lots of number that you can have a correct answer with, and that's it. And then of course, I have a list here.
Oh, you came prepared. That's
And
great.
yes,
That's
and
good.
of
I like
course,
that.
and of course, every week you should always answer one full listening exam, so that you can hone your skills in listening test.
I like that.
Mm. And when it comes to reading, um, what I do is I always read the questions first before reading sorry, documents, before reading um the whole thing. I read first the title, and then I go to the questions, and after that I will skim and scan the entire thing. And in writing, I think we don't need to be very complicated. We should use the words that we already knew, and we should not use words that we are we are not sure how, we should not use words that we are not sure can help in our writing. Just
Mm,
make it simple and always follow the rules that was given to us by our teachers. Always rephrase in the first part of the test, and always make sure that you have a lot of time for the part two because it has more score compared to the first part.
yes.
And speaking, I
Mm,
think I regret one thing in speaking because I don't have a speaking partner, and I think I'm not that confident when it comes to speaking.
mm,
There are times that I have to think of the next word that I'm gonna say, but um, at home, I would ask my husband sometimes to help me. He will be the one who will ask me questions,
That's
and yes, that's what we did.
that's good. That's great. Yeah. Well, that's really good tools and advice for all the rest of the nurses. Would you say there was an easier part, um, or was it all really tough?
For me, the listening is the easiest, and at first, writing is the hardest part of the exam for me because it's very technical. Um, and actually, in speaking, I was really thinking that I can um, have the score of 7, but unfortunately, I got 6.5 in the exam at
Mm,
at first before rechecking. So just don't be too confident. Always practice, practice, practice.
I was just gonna say, practice, practice, practice.
Yes.
Yeah, practice and study, and a speaking partner is good. Like if you have a husband, or if you don't have
Mhm.
that, yeah, find a speaking buddy. That really helps.
Yes, a speaking buddy. And also uh um I forgot what I have to say for a while.
Yeah, oh, you're
Ah,
okay.
you should always attend, I hear it, always attend the speaking class with our
Yeah,
English English teacher. And of course the Zoom classroom.
yes, yeah,
Yes, you should join there.
definitely, definitely. Try to get all the live sessions in that you can, and the speaking sessions, like you said, definitely helpful. Well, that's really great. Well, I think we have enjoyed speaking with you. And what's the first thing? We're all curious. What's the first thing you're going to do when you come to the USA?
Of course, I first of all, I want to see the hospital where I will be working
That's good.
and settle,
And settle.
find a house, and other important things first before other things that, like for example, traveling. It will be in the last part, I think.
Yeah,
Uh, Work first before anything else.
definitely. Work first. Yeah, and then play. Well, that's great. That's
Yes, work probably.
definitely. Yeah, well, that you've got big dreams, and you're going to fulfill them really soon. You're going to be here, which is really exciting.
Yes.
And yeah, your hard work, it paid off, and your patience from last year, it paid off. So
Mhm.
it definitely is possible. And you achieved your dream of finishing your IELTS, and you're going to be here very soon. So that's very rewarding and exciting. And your son is going to love it.
Yes.
That's really
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, definitely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to speak with us, me and Tanya, and to let all the nurses know your journey and how you got there and how you made it. So we really appreciate your time today.
Thank you also, Miss Jennifer, to Phonetics and also to Swoosh English for
Well,
helping me pass my IELTS.
definitely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for all of that. So that's really great. And I enjoyed our little interview, and I hope you have a great rest of the day for you.
Thank you.
Okay. You have a good night, okay?
Yes, and a good
I hope
morning
so.
to you, Miss
Oh,
Jennifer.
yeah. Good morning.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Well, we will see you later.
See you, Miss Jennifer. Bye.
Bye.